So, ma'am, how do you interpret China's latest move? Like, would you call it a purely retaliatory response, or is this a signal of something bigger in the global trade order?
See, actually, what has happened is that this is an immediate knee-jerk reaction of China, but it is not unexpected because Canada has also made a similar kind of retaliation. So, when you impose a kind of tariff on the other countries, there are repercussions, and the countries react differently. So, this is one of the reactions that China did, that it has imposed a retaliatory tariff on the American goods.
Okay, right, ma'am. So, ma'am, these tariffs also include important goods such as tech parts and as well as farm products. So, what kind of impact can this have globally?
See, basically, let me tell you one thing. Uh, America produces very little things. Okay, it's not like they produce a lot of things and that they sell a lot of things to the world. And it is not like they have actually improved their manufacturing capabilities and then imposed a tariff. So now that they produced quite a small amount of things, it is first going to impact the American export, whatever export that was happening in China. Now the point, the entire way the tariff is designed is going to, from beginning what America has done to this point of what others are retaliating, at the end of the day may be adversely impacting American exports and businesses, because if they had put the tariff in a more different way, in a tariff in a way in the products that directly competing with American manufacturing, or thought it through, then probably the impact would have been better for the American economy. Here what has happened is that they have put in the tariff, so the other person is also putting in the tariff. So it is kind of leading to a tariff war without much benefit to the either side.
Okay, ma'am. So, ma'am, do you think this is a part of a larger shift where like China and US might be moving apart in trade?
Listen, China has been see, basically, if you see the problem, that it was first China which imposed a lot of restrictions on the US companies. The US technology firms were banned from many things in China. So the actual problem did not begin today. The actual problem became when China put restrictions on all the US technology firms, then on Apple. They were the first one to impose the restriction. The war began almost at that point in time. It's not a new war. Now it is only that the Trump is taking it to a different level, and it is not a US China war. Trump has taken it to kind of calling it making America great. It is kind of, he has not singled out a country, he has singled out countries, all countries with whom they have a positive trade balance.
Okay, right,
So
ma'am.
it is not really against China, but everybody else with whom they have a positive trade balance. In this, China is unique. I must say China is unique because China is probably the only one which has singled out and kind of put a restriction on Americans before Americans have taken any retaliation measures on Chinese.
So, ma'am, do you see a role for global trade bodies like the World Trade Organization in such situations anymore?
Unfortunately, by not electing the judges in the disputes, in judges in the dispute settlement, US has kind of weakened the dispute settlement mechanism in the WTO. Now, they don't have much faith in any multilateral body. When looking at India also, it's not like India agreed to every discussions that happened in the WTO. So what is happening now? So was European Union. They were talking about WTO reform. So multilateral bodies itself were going through a phase of transition and changes when this kind of thing happened. So at this stage, I think that multilateral bodies are equally surprised as the countries are with the moves that are happening around them, and it will take time to stabilize. You have to see how it unfolds, how it impacts the American own domestic market, how other countries react to it, how companies set up their supply chains, how consumers get impacted by the high prices, and within 2-3 months we can see the actual change happening. But definitely for China, America is a very large market. And while for America, China is not that big a market. They don't export that much to the to the China is never a big importer. So therefore, the one has to think through why things are like that. Probably if China has also thought through, and that's my, I'm thinking aloud, and put a export ban on certain products rather than a tariff ban, that could have jittered America a lot more than a tariff ban.